Welcome to the Development Review Committee meeting of the City of Grass Valley this Tuesday, June 24th. Development Review Committee welcomes you to attend the meeting electronically or in person at the City Hall Council Chambers located at 125 East Main Street, Grass Valley. Regular meetings are scheduled at 9 a.m. on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. Members of the public are encouraged to submit public comments via voicemail at 530-274-4390. Agenda materials, staff reports, and background information related to regular agenda items are available on the city's website, www.cityofgrassvalley.com. Please note, individuals who disrupt, disturb, impede, or render infeasible the orderly conduct of a meeting may be removed from the meeting. And at this time, I'll call the meeting to order. And we'll do roll call. Better City our consulting architect, Andrew Pulaski.
Here.
Our planning commission representative, Jacob, sorry, I'm blanking on your name.
McDonald.
McDonald,
There
thank
we
you,
go.
sorry.
Present.
I need to write everybody's
No.
name down before I do this.
They've been saying Mac lately.
That would be easy to remember. Our fire personnel, Rocky Barrera.
Here.
Feel free to say your title.
Fire Marshal.
And our city senior engineer, Kathy Dykes. Here. All right, and I'm Amy Wilson, city planner, also present. Any announcements, agenda review and changes? None from my seat. And at this time we'll go to public comment. Do we have any public comment for anything not on the agenda?
Yes, I'll play it for you.
Hello, this is Matthew Coulter making public comment for the Development Review Committee meeting, June 24th, 2025. And I'd like to start with talking about the trash situation in town. When you guys approve different businesses, trash really needs to be taken into account because there was a trash fire last night in the parking lot behind Mill Street Mall. And it seems like there's just trash everywhere in town overflowing. So there needs to be something done with that when you guys approve things. Is much like with parking, that people deal with their trash, because there's even businesses across from City Hall that have no trash service and just pile it up. Signage, the signage that's on the Tire Center on Plaza Drive, I believe is out of standard. It's probably double the size of any other sign in town. And they also have signs in the gas station on Nevada City Highway and Brunswick Road. Destroying the character of the town, Roseville architecture. And it's a shame that you folks that are in charge and get to see these things first as they come to you aren't controlling the ongoing development. I.e. the dust coming off the projects that you approve, the mud runoff coming off if it rains, which we know it does rain. There was just an event in Tahoe that was pretty severe. The creek destruction, that is in Loma Rica Ranch and by the city parking lot project, and just the overall environmental impacts of the things that you guys approve, but no one ever follows through on them, and they don't really develop in the way that you guys approve them. So there really needs to be more follow through, which I've asked repeatedly to this body. Thank you very much. And I'll call back on the number 2 item, lighting.
That's the end of the public comment.
Thank you. With that, we're going to move on to our general application for review. This is a development review for security lights at the Safeway Shopping Center. File number 25 PLN-24. Location is 867 Sutton Way. Let me find my staff report. Let's see, this site was developed as the Gold Country Shopping Center around 1977. It was annexed to the city in 2004. Staff sent a letter about the non-compliant flashing lights that were installed. I'm not sure exactly when they were installed, but several months ago. We sent a letter to them in March of this year. And then upon receipt, Triton Global Services, who manages the security units, did immediately turn them off. We met with Triton Global Services on May 8th. And then they followed up by submitting this development review application on June 5th. Triton is requesting to permit the 6 previously installed security units with their lights. The security units feature 2-way audio speakers, cameras, and shielded blue lights at locations shown on the map that is attached to your staff reports. The security units are either mounted on the building or on existing light poles. So security light units are mounted at a height of approximately 15 to 16 feet, and that's not in the staff report. That was something that I'd asked them to indicate to me after the staff report was already published. Staff has added condition 5, which prohibits the lights from flashing or blinking in compliance with our municipal code. And the applicant will add a shielding component to the light feature so that the light is directed downward, also in compliance with our municipal code. So generally, lights are not to be installed more than 14 feet of height. However, the code does provide some discretion to the Development Review Committee to determine that additional height will provide lighting that still complies otherwise with all the requirements of our outdoor lighting standards. So they're asking for the committee to make that finding so they can install them just a little bit higher. And with that, we do have our applicants on Zoom if they would like to make any statements.
Hi, good morning. This is Jacob Keefe with Triton Global Services. I guess we appreciate your time here today and hope we are able to get this approved. This was installed in coordination with Safeway Albertsons in an effort to deter some of the security concerns they were having there on property.
Thank you. From my perspective, it does seem like with the shielding and with the non-blinking component that these will be in compliance with our lighting standards. I do recognize the need for security in that area. So I don't have any issue with how they're doing it as long as they don't have them flashing.
So the proposal is for there to continue to be a blue light, it's just shielded.
Shielded and non-blinking.
So
Yeah.
Is that shielded down?
Yes, if you go to the next
Okay.
exhibit, I think yeah, so
See the,
the picture on the right,
Yeah.
they have the shield on there, so it will only shine it downward.
okay, so it's kind of reflected down,
Right.
not
Yeah.
out, okay.
Right.
Jacob, can you describe to me what is the function of the blue light?
We primarily look at it as a deterrence and an awareness factor. It alerts those who are in the area that there is a security presence.
And so with the shield on this, I guess you just won't, you may not perceive that blue light until you're much closer to the unit.
Correct.
Have you used these shields in other locations?
We actually have not used these yet in other locations. This would be our first deployment of these shields, but we have tested them here in the office.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not advocating for this, but I'm like, why have a blue light? But maybe there's some obligation to have a blue light. Do you have like a notification obligation in your industry? Is that what this is?
It's not to meet any type of notification requirements. It really is just a deterrence factor that helps eliminate some of those concerns, security concerns before they even come on property.
And will it be, it's not that it won't be flashing, is that correct? It'll just be a steady
That's correct.
on, okay.
It'll be a constant shielded, pointed down blue light.
Okay.
We still, questions? So they're looking, usually it's 14 feet, and so they're looking for us to grant an exemption to put it at 15 to 16 feet?
Yeah, it's not an exemption. Our code, we actually regularly do this because
Okay.
most people don't install their lights at 14 feet. Most of our larger shopping centers. And
Okay.
if you look at their existing lights, there's a picture in the staff report.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just guess that those lights, the top of the light is like at least 24 feet. A lot of our shopping centers have lights that are that tall, so this is actually much shorter than a lot of the lights get installed. And we've, since I've been in this role, we have granted the higher light height so many times that I'm considering maybe
Okay.
bringing that as a change to the code, because it seems like it's not very, 14 feet high is not very it's not very useful for a lot of these shopping centers.
Is that because the downcast radius is less?
You'll often hear a developer make a case that if you limit them to a lower height, then they have to have more lights.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So depending on the size of the parking lot, a judgment can be made.
Well, this is just for us to find a fighting about the blue lights, not the
Yeah,
overhead lights.
that's correct.
Yeah, my biggest issue was the flashing component, so,
Mhm.
yeah, and then the shielding too. I think we'll go to public comment now. Mhm.
Hi, this is Matthew Coulter calling at the Grass Valley Development Review Committee meeting, June 24th, 2025, 9 a.m. And this comments related to the item on the agenda for the lighting for the Safeway in Brunswick. My comments related to that are the LED lighting, the white lighting that is so prevalent is destroying our night skies. Any new lighting that's in Grass Valley should be approved with the dark sky international standards like Nevada City just put in place, because if you do look at the dark sky night, Grass Valley is a huge blip in a relatively dark area where you can see the night sky. It's been diminishing rapidly with the lights at Memorial Park and all the new LEDs. The state parks are developing or have put in standard to change from the bright white lights to the more yellow natural bulb style, not in style, but in what they put out, the type of lumens and the visual aspect, as well as the shielding needs to be pointed towards the ground and not up in the sky where it already diminishes the whole standard of living around here with the light. And it is a pollution. So you're approving pollution. How much pollution are you approving right now? We'll see, because this does affect drivers, it affects pedestrians, it affects wildlife, it affects attitudes. It's all in your internal clock lighting, and it's very important how we use it and abuse it. As we all know, driving and seeing the PG&E street lights with no shields on them and their bright light, it's already been proven to have caused more accidents, and PG&E is changing out their lights too, one by one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's the end of the public comment.
Thank you.
Amy, there was a condition that you were describing at the very start of your presentation. I think you said it was number 5.
Yeah, I think I in the actual report, I had an old condition there from a sign, so I was gonna swap it out for a condition that that just reiterates that the lights will not blink in compliance with
Okay.
our code.
So that's not in this now.
It is not in there.
Okay, I was looking.
I meant to say that I was including it as condition number 5.
Gotcha.
Any other questions?
I have no concerns. I think the only thing I am thinking about has been that, I mean, I also have a perspective about light pollution and that, you know, downcast lighting with a Kelvin rating of 2700 to 3000 is like more of a natural lighting. I was really pleased when downtown on Mill Street at least changed the lights from about 6000 Kelvin. I don't know if you remember what it was like 6 years ago. It was like hospital lighting. It was nothing was warm. It did not feel historic. It did not feel as inviting as, there's a lot more light downtown, but at least it's that lower level. Now, with this is obviously a blue light.
Mhm.
It's shielded. I think just in making a recommendation on this, that I do really appreciate our decisions that comply with the city for not putting lights higher, for not letting them go out and not making them a hospital lighting for this. I understand it's a blue lighting and there's a reason to have it, you know, be aware to people that there is a security presence, and it is nice. I really, driving across the city and seeing blinking lights everywhere just feels like you're in a security state. It's a little creepy. Or the ambiance of it doesn't feel welcoming is what I should say, when you're driving across, you know, the highway or something. So I think my perspective on this is obviously is something that seems reasonable. But whatever decision we make, I think that not pushing it more and more open to have higher lights and brighter lights is a good decision. That's my statement on that.
No, I agree with a lot of the light pollution statements. It'd be hard to go back and retroactively
Yes.
do much about it,
Yeah.
but certainly there could be policies in place,
Yeah.
if that was something city council
Yeah.
wanted to put in play
And-
to make new lighting.
Mhm.
compliant. I do find, I think a lot of people are opting to do it
Mhm.
just voluntarily. They're opting to go with dark sky compliant lighting.
There's some of that, but there's a lot of people don't understand it. And it's great that Truckee has led that. Now Nevada City has led that, and you know, light pollution is a type of pollution.
Yeah.
And it affects a lot of things. So
Yeah, I agree
All
with
right.
that. Any other issues, concerns, deliberations?
No.
I mean, the only thing I would say is just like if it's the difference between, are these already up?
These are already.
They're already
open.
installed. Okay,
Yeah,
they're already
The
installed.
lights are turned off right now.
Okay, the lights are turned off. So they're just gonna turn them back on
Mhm.
with the shield on it. And that's all we're doing.
And not blinking.
Okay, and did they get a permit or go through the
believe-
process to put these up above 14 feet?
I believe they are working with a building, like they have a building permit in, is that right, Jacob?
That's correct. I've submitted for a general building permit as well.
Yeah, so it's sort of dependent on this.
Is there a reason why they need to be above the stated 14 feet?
I think that's just our standard height that we shoot to achieve for reasons to avoid tampering with and things like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow, you have to make a heck of an effort to tamper with this one.
Yeah.
It's way up there.
Yeah, they said 15 to 16 feet, but I thought it was higher than that. The one picture that I took. If there are no other.
Have they already put the shields up there? On the
Please.
shields, have the shields been
Installed.
installed?
No, not yet. The lights are still permanently off until this meeting occurred, and if we obtain approval, we'll install those prior to turning lights back on.
Okay. I'm just interested, I can ask the questions of other folks. Does anybody, I mean, the only thing I could think about asking questions about, or what are people's concerns about this being above 14 feet? Any? Because,
Only because we've had so many applications where it's, especially in these large shopping centers where
Okay.
lights in general are,
okay,
everyone is constantly asking for larger lights. And I think from my perspective, I would prefer fewer lights and covering, a wider area. And if
okay,
they're taller, I mean, that's my preference.
It also allows more parking in general. They're
That's
putting
probably
in
true.
Planters and stuff.
okay,
Parking's always a concern here.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't really see this as a light fixture.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah,
There,
we're talking in terms of light because that was where the violation was
Okay,
resulting.
So there's
It's not
no-
exact, it's not really illuminating the parking lot.
Okay, so- thanks for that clarification. So this doesn't really apply to like under 14 feet because it's a security camera.
It's more of a camera for,
Got it. Okay,
and I
Right.
think that the light, like he was saying, just the blue light is associated with, PD basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
that's what I was
That's the
thinking.
deterrent is
Yeah.
just the color wise of
Yeah.
being it blue.
And this shield, I mean, this photograph of the shield, I think you're gonna have to be standing right underneath the
Yeah,
thing
that's
in
what I'm
order to see
thinking.
it.
yeah,
If it's installed the way it's shown in this photo.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that's strategic too, of the placement around because I know that they have real bad security issues in that parking lot in
Yeah.
particular, so I think that's just even better with it, the shield. You have to be right underneath it or within 10 feet to really, I guess, be affected by that blue light being
Mhm.
downcast
Yeah.
by the shield, so.
it'll probably eliminate the white box.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just shows that it's on, obviously. Okay. All from-
Well, and it's the deterrence function.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
All right, well, with that, I am going to make a motion that the Development Review Committee approve the Development Review Permit for the security units as presented. Which includes the following actions. Determine that the project is categorically exempt pursuant to section 15301, class 1 of the California Environmental Quality Act and guidelines as detailed in the staff report. Adopt findings of fact for approval of the development review permit as presented in the staff report. And approve the development review permit in accordance with the conditions of approval as modified with condition number 5, indicating that the lights shall not be flashing as presented in the staff report otherwise. I hear a second.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Right, motion passes. And we have nothing else on